You can back it up or whatever. There we go. It popped up. Good, good, good. All right, good morning, everybody. Saturday morning, and we already got some videos going. So, we'll wait. I'm going to answer some of these questions live. Sorry if I'm looking down, but this is just me. My wonderful wife just hit the live button for me. So, I want to make sure the volume is good. Make sure. All right, how to start a contractor business. So, before you begin, you should always know what you're good at. We were kind of talking about it last live, and some of the things that people fail to do immediately is tell your immediate family and friends, the people who know you the most, let them know what you want to do. But for me, before we jump into step one, before you start or think about starting a contracting business, remodeling business, whatever you want to call it, you really need to make sure that you know your niche, right? What is a niche? And that is your specialty. So, as a tradesman or tradeswoman, once you get into the trades, there's something that you like the most, and naturally, if you like it, you're going to be passionate. And if you're passionate, then that means you're probably going to be good at it. Not always, right? Everybody can't be good at everything. But once you do figure out what you're good at, and you've done it and you've got some experience, then you can go out on your own as an individual contractor, individual remodeler, individual builder, whatever you want to do. The terms are all relative, but I just wanted to make sure that, especially for the inexperienced people who are thinking about going out on their own, maybe you're in an environment that you're not happy with, or maybe you think you've reached the peak at your current company and you want to start your own business. So there's a difference in just being an individual contractor or having a business. And where I see most contractors fail or struggle is on the business side. And so that's why we're live today. That's why we're talking about how to start the business and making sure you have the proper steps. And if you're on here, say hey. If the volume is good, please say hey, hello, let me know. I want to make sure that you can hear me clearly. And please comment, like, share. We're going to do a lot more lives on YouTube as we're trying to continue to grow our presence on YouTube. So when you're starting a contracting company, you have your reasons for wanting to do it, but what you need to take into consideration is lead generation and how you're going to get work, right? Because the moment you decide that you are going out on your own, whether you are experienced or not in the actual skill of contracting or the skill or the trade that you're in, you need to know how to run the business. And when you start out fresh compared to contractors or tradesmen and women who have been doing this for a long time and who are established, how are you going to get your name out there? So I'm literally going to write it. Don't pay attention to my handwriting. It's not the best. Hopefully you can keep up with my Scrabble as we go. But the first thing that we want to do, let me get my board here, is you want to tell your immediate people, right? So I said before you begin, you want to know your niche. What does that mean? You want to know your specialty, what you're good at. So tell friends and family. I can't overstate how important it is, and I don't know if it's vanity, I don't know what it is, but a lot of people who start their own business are, I don't know if they're I don't know what it is actually, but they don't want to tell their friends and family. Those are the people who are going to support you the most. And what you need to make sure that you do, let me slide this over. I can tell it's harder to see. Okay, is your immediate, let's think of 5 people that you are very, very close to and talk to them about, probably well ahead of just taking the leap and going out on your own. Talk to them about the fact that you want to be a contractor. Talk to them about starting your own business, and believe it or not, they're gonna offer up some advice. They're gonna have some tips, and they're gonna help you spread the word. They care about you. And so, you're going to go through those moments of why are you wanting to do this, and maybe some moments of doubt, even with your immediate people, but that's what they're there for. You want them to question you. You want them to ask you why you're doing what you're doing. And so the number one thing that you can do is to tell your friends and family that you are starting a business, that you are going out on your own, that you are going to be a contractor. And so after you tell them, that way they have the immediate awareness, they're going to keep you top of mind. And what does that mean as far as top of mind? That means that when they hear that somebody needs help at their home or business, whichever side you're gonna do, that they're thinking of you, and you want to make sure that they know you're going to be a contractor and that they can spread the word for you, and they can beat you up. They can ask you questions. They can make sure that you're prepared, and maybe give you some thoughts on what you need to do before starting your business. Okay, so now you've told your friends and family. What is the second thing that I think you need to do when starting your contracting business? Well, it's going to be knowing the rules and regulations surrounding your industry. And what do I mean by that? Well, you would think lead generation is important, but it isn't the second thing, and it's not the first. The first was tell your people. The second is know the rules and regulations. Can you actually start your own contracting business? What are you good at? Does it require a license? How do you get a business license versus how do you get a state license for your trade? Let's say, for instance, so let me write that up here. Let's go. Number two. Number two is know the rules, right? And requirements. And again, forgive my chicken scratch. Know the rules and requirements. Okay, let me put this back up here. All right. So, yeah, the reason that you want to know your rules and requirements is you want to make sure that you're not going into something that requires a license, and that you're not, breaking any rules right off the bat. So there are a lot of trades that require a state license. Now, there are some businesses in contracting that don't require a license at all, except for a business license. It doesn't matter what you do. You have to go to your town or city or parish or the township, wherever you live, whatever it's called, the municipality, and you have to obtain a business license. So there are certain trades where you can go in and get a contractor's license depending on what the specialty is, and you don't have to have a state regulated or mandated license. What do I mean? So as an electrician, you have to pass a test, you have to have an apprenticeship, you have to log a certain amount of hours. Plumber is the same way. HVAC, you got to be board certified. So as a home builder here, we're here in Alabama, you have to have a state of Alabama home builder's license, and that is for contractors, not even if you want to just build homes, but that is for contractors wanting to do a certain level of remodel or renovation, $10,000 or up here in the state of Alabama, you are supposed to have a home builder's license. And so you want to make sure that you are you know the requirements, and that you have the license to do whatever it is you want to do. So, like for instance, a handyman, a painter, a floor installer, a tile installer, those types of trades, at least here on the Gulf Coast, you do not have to have a state license or take a test or do any of that stuff to walk in and get a business license from the municipality. Right now, do I think it's smart for you to have experience in whatever it is that you're wanting to do? Of course. But let's hope that you're not going to start a contracting business and not have the experience, at least, or the skill to do the trade or that you're trying to start a business in. So let's just go into it with the fact that you do have experience in the trade. You want to make sure that you get that business license, and you can walk in. There's going to be a licensing department, right? It may be the Department of Revenue, and you tell them you want to apply for a business license, and they're going to ask you what you do. Let's just say you're a painter. You say, I'm a painter, I paint houses, and they're going to make you pay, and they're going to write you a business license. Now, you have a license to do business in whatever town, city, whatever you want to call it, where you're from. So you have that business license. Now you take that and you're set. So you've told your friends and family, you've looked up requirements for your trade, right? And you're going to obtain a business license. Again, the business license from the city is different from the licensed, right? You see that all the time. I need a licensed and insured person to give me a quote or a bid on remodeling XYZ or replacing XYZ in my home. There is a difference between a contractor's license for their individual trade than a business license that is a license from the city to operate. Those are two different things, and you can get a contractor's license for certain specialties without having an actual license to do other trades. It's not a requirement. Flooring, painting. So I just wanted to clear that up. But you do have to have a business license, and you need to make sure that you do the right thing and go down and get your business license. Don't just think it's okay to, I'm a painter, I'm gonna go out on my own, start painting, and not go and get the business license. Because eventually, right, a lot of people do that. It is going to catch up with you. So let's go on to number 3. Now, this is where I think that, it's hard for people to understand how difficult it is to get leads and generate leads. So we're going to definitely spend some time on this one. All right, this is super important, but this is, again, after you've done the first 2 things I've said, which is tell your friends and family, and then make sure that you get the licenses required or know the regulations for what you need to do to actually go into business. And then let's talk about the third thing as I write it up here on the board, and that's going to be making sure that you know how to generate leads, marketing, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Whenever you start your own business, you want to make sure that you have a steady workflow. Well, to tell you the truth, this is it's so hard to do in contracting. It's so hard to do as a builder or remodeler. You are not going to just walk in and have a steady flow of work. Now, if you are an established tradesman or woman, then you can let people know that you've worked with in the past. And sometimes your boss will support you. And if you're going to be straight up with them and say, you know, eventually I want to open my own company and eventually I'm going to go out on my own, make them aware. It's their job to do everything they can to keep you happy. But there's also, depending on how bad you want it, there's a certain point to where you just have to go out on your own. You're ready to start your business. You've reached and done everything you could do for that employer, and you're ready to do your own thing. So whenever you do that, then you need to make sure you know where your work's going to come from. We talked about telling your friends and family. So they're already out there starting to, you know, spread the word or talk about it in general with people that they know. But what else can you do? Well, this is where number 3 is know how to generate leads. What is a lead? A lead is exactly what it says. It leads you to work. So if you don't have an office, or you're not opening an office, or you're not opening a storefront, a business front, how are you getting your information out there? And one of the first things that I talked about last live was making sure that you join the chamber. Now, there's going to be a fee associated with joining the chamber. And if you don't know what the Chamber of Commerce is, your local Chamber of Commerce, trust me, everybody has one. Look it up. What is the Chamber of Commerce? And I'm not talking about the United States Chamber of Commerce. I'm talking about your local Chamber of Commerce. Let them know that you're opening a business. Now, once you open your business, you got to have some sort of a business before you can join. Join the chamber. That's where all the small businesses go to meet up and to kind of help each other. What is the chamber's job? The chamber's job is to spread awareness of small businesses. The chamber's job is to advocate for small businesses. And if you are active in your local chamber of commerce, then you will reap the benefits of being active. I'd say if you're active in your community, as well, is very, very good for your business to let them know, and it keeps you top of mind. So being a part of the chamber is a very, very big deal to me, and I think it helps businesses a lot. I know our local chamber was very beneficial to us just in being able to do some of the monthly stuff they do, which was like business meetups, business lunches, business business after hours, business after hours, different things like that. So join the chamber, make business cards. And listen, you may not have a lot of money at first, but let's go ahead and get those business cards made, right? So I'll do a whole breakout and I'll put it in the show notes and I'll leave some comments. But, oh, let me look at this. Sorry, I absolutely didn't see you there, Tyrell. Let me say hi first. I'm getting used to doing these lives. So thanks for joining. And hopefully you're getting some information out of it. Let me say at Tyrell. All right, I appreciate you. Sorry. So getting back to it, you know what? Just making sure that you join the chamber, and then from there it's the business cards. Like I said, you may not have a lot of money at first, and I want to make sure that you understand how important it is, especially as a new business owner, to have a business card in your pocket at all times. Multiple, and especially if you're going to go to events or join groups, or you might just be walking around Walmart or Target. Look, have that business card on you so you can hand it to people that you know and to people you don't know. You may, hey, wear a shirt, get a company shirt made. Something as small as that goes a long ways. And you, like I said, you may be in your local grocery store getting groceries and you're wearing, hey, even if you just make one shirt and you wear that joker out, guess what? It doesn't matter, all right? You start with one shirt, you start with a handful of business cards, and when you're walking around, wherever it may be, the grocery store, Walmart, Target, wherever, Home Depot, okay? I can't tell you how much business we get from just being in Home Depot with our company shirts on, okay? So make sure you get that out there. Make sure you get your name out there. We talked about joining the chamber. Well, let's talk about just wearing a t-shirt. And you may have a buddy who can make a t-shirt, whatever it may take, but always have your t-shirt on wherever you're going. Always make a hat, whatever it is to get started. The small details matter. Get a magnet for your vehicle, right? Get a company decal, put your phone number right on that thing. Again, we've had so many people that drive by our vehicles or our trailers or the magnets, are on our friends' cars, and they actually will email or they will call and say, hey, one of your trucks just drove by and I noticed you do flooring, I notice you do remodeling, I notice you do bathrooms, I notice you paint. Whatever it is that you do, make sure that you have that out there. So we talked about telling your friends and family. They're already starting to help you spread the word. We talked about knowing the rules and regulations. Do not be one of those contractors that do not know what kind of a license you have to have. Don't do unlicensed work. It's going to hurt you before you even get started. If you, like I said, there are trades that if you're good at them and have the experience, you can do without the license, okay? Flooring, tile, paint, some of those types of things. Handyman, a lot of handyman type stuff, you don't need a regulated license, right? A trade license. You just need to get a business license. So number 3 is knowing how to generate leads. So we're going to continue on this one because it is crucial, and that is joining the chamber. Again, if you don't know what the Chamber of Commerce is, you need to figure it out. Your local Chamber of Commerce can help you out, spread the word, and it looks good to people when they know you're a part of that chamber, okay? The other thing is, second, is getting those business cards made. Again, you don't have to have some fancy logo on there. You don't have to have anything but your name and your information, okay? As long as you got a stack of business cards that you are keeping in your pocket, that's what matters. And then from there, you go into finding, like I said, it doesn't matter if you have one, however many you can make, but wear a shirt with your company name, and your company information, right? Phone number on the back, okay? So people can call you. So no matter where you are out in the community, people see that shirt and they're like, oh, let me call them. I got, paint job I need for them to do. All right. So business cards, shirts, hats, whatever you can do. All right. Then from there, you may want to get some decals on your vehicle. You don't want to, I feel like if you're riding around town or riding around your city right now and you don't have some sort of a decal on your vehicle with your phone number on there, you're missing thousands of people that are riding by or you're driving by in a day. Or if you're parked out in Lowe's or Home Depot's parking lots while you're in there shopping, picking up something for a job, there's people walking by your vehicle all day, every day. If you're in a neighborhood and you don't have it on your vehicle or on your trailer that you're pulling, you are missing out on opportunities to advertise while you're in the house working. You're not even having to do anything except for put that magnet on your vehicle. All right, that is super important, okay? And then other things. So beyond that, right, that's really stuff that you can do that is super, super, super low budget. T-shirt, hat, vehicle decals, and joining the chamber. I guarantee you if you do those few things at the beginning, it's going to carry you a long way. Now, are you ever just going to walk in and start competing with people who have been doing this for 20 years, 25 years and are community established, know people, went to school with people? No, you're not, okay? But as you get that first client, okay, do a good job. That word of mouth is very strong. So that first job may be hanging a fan, maybe a little couple $100 job, maybe $100 job, maybe a service call and you don't even get work. It's just calling you out there to look at it. Okay, but you're interacting with people. And when I started my business, the biggest thing that I wanted to do was get into people's houses, because it didn't matter what the phone call was, right? We answered it, and we went over there and we made sure that even if we couldn't do the work, hey, I'm going to come by and see what the work's about. That goes a long way with people. So knowing how to generate leads, knowing how to market your business starts with telling people. Then you get your business cards so you can have them in your pocket at all times. Have your shirt, have your hat, have your vehicle tagged. Those things are super important and can carry you a long way. And then we're going to go beyond there and talk about maybe once you get a little business gets established, a website. Now, I figured out how to build my own, but I had a little bit of a technical background with computers, but nothing too fancy, but I just figured it out because a lot of these things are kind of plug and play right now. If you don't have any kind of technical ability to do that, get with somebody, see what it's going to cost, find the right person. So you're going to have companies trying to tell you it's $10,000, it's $12,000 to start a website. It's not. You can find somebody local, a friend or family or somebody that you know that can help you start a website. And some of the websites, if you can do it by yourself, they'll let you start for free. Now, is it going to be www.contractor.com? No, because you're going to have to pay to get your own individual contracting name without some sort of, it's going to be www.contractor/godaddy.com until you can afford to pay. But they'll let you build a website for free. Okay. Once you get beyond that step of building that website, then and only then can you start actually putting things on the website, pictures and stuff like that. But another free resource, and man, this one just totally got lost on me, is social media. How important it is to have a Facebook account, Instagram, especially if you're in contracting and you're doing something that's super visual. Social media is super important, okay? And it helps you, those before and after pictures or going through the process of a remodel or just, you yourself rolling out paint on a wall and letting people know that, yeah, I'm active, I'm out there, and it's a place for them to be able to contact you. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is fun, YouTube, whatever it may be. You may not know it, or you may be hesitant to start a business page on social media, but you need to do it. Like Facebook right now, we have so many like city pages. So like what's happening in whatever city you're living in, right? And I'm sure if you go on Facebook, there's so many groups that there's whatever city, you're in the city of Philadelphia, all right? There's going to be a Citizens of Philadelphia page or group that you can follow, and it's going to be, where can I find XYZ? Where can I find a contractor to do a bathroom? Every chance you get, you want to be able to post on there and say, hey, I'm available. I'm a contractor in my city. I can help you. I'm a painter. So there are groups like that in every city that's watching this right now. So if you don't know about that group, go and find it, right? So here, all of those are called What's Happening in my city specifically, What's Happening in Loxley, What's Happening in Gulf Shores, right? So everybody's starting to mimic those types of pages. It's great for advertising. Whenever somebody goes on there, there's so many questions, right, that are asked on those group pages that your cities have. They're like, where can I find a good haircut? Right? That doesn't apply to you, but again, it will start to apply to you because it's going to be, where can I find paint? Where can I find a painter? Who's your go-to? And, who do you recommend? A lot of times in contracting, you'll see, give me a name of somebody who does bathroom remodels that you've had good experiences with, okay? And then you throw your name out there. Hey, we can help. XYZ company, whatever you're going to name your company. As far as lead generation, I would say if you're not established, these social media platforms are huge. They're a huge benefit for you. And I want to make sure that you understand that you should start a page on social media. Facebook, namely, for me, that's been the most successful one, but you want to start a page. All right. So we went over the top 3 things on how to start your contracting business. I'm going to cut it off there for today. Please leave comments. Let me know what I can do to help you out. I really appreciate everybody tuning in, and share and spread the love as we keep going through this journey. Listen to our podcast, the Home Building and Remodeling Show, and watch our how-tos. We're trying to grow our presence on YouTube, but we have a large presence over on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. So I'm super happy to be here, and I'm going to do these lives more often just because it's a way for me to actually connect to y'all and answer your direct questions. So please tune in as we do them. I appreciate you.